TV's cricket analyst, Mr. Sunil Gavaskar. Also with me in studio, I have former India cricketer in Aakash Chopra. Sunil, I'll start with you. Anil Kumble, how would you look at this appointment? I mean, like we've been saying, and we heard the BCCI president, as a player, he was top class.
Oh yes, no question about it. He's one of Indian cricket's legends, and he has done everything that Indian cricket has asked of him when he was a player. And I do believe that the attributes that made him so successful as a cricketer will come in very, very handy when he takes over as the coach of the Indian team. I think those attributes, like determination. Remember the way he bowled when he had his jaw fractured. The way he became a batsman, lower order batsman with a test century. Now, those are the kind of attributes that a team needs, and I think I believe that this is a very, very good choice.
Okay, he is going to be the coach, Aakash, and now because India is playing a lot of test matches, it's for a period of 1 year and majority games are test matches. So I'm going to ask you about how do you see rather a Virat Kohli gelling with the new coach, which is Anil Kumble, because that is going to be very important in the functioning.
Yes, it's going to be key because when we talk about Anil, of course, whatever Sunny is mentioning is absolutely correct. You cannot doubt his credential as a player, but then you can also understand why it's only for a year, because we have nothing to go by as regards to his coaching credentials or his experience, and then how he gels with the team, how he actually gets together with the new captain or with the young captain in Virat Kohli will be key with regards to how the team goes forward, because it is a young team with a young captain and they all play 3 formats. It's not going to be easy because you really want to keep everybody together. You really want to have everybody improve as a player and fulfill and realize their potential. The good thing is, most of these games are at home, so he will be on his home turf. As a bowler, I'm pretty sure that bowlers in the group are going to be very excited with Anil being there, because he will be championing their cause for sure, and will be giving the right advice. And the other thing that I'm hoping for him to do is to actually pick the right coaching staff as well, because coaching roles have changed completely. It's not that you have to be hands-on, you have to be the bowling coach, batting coach, fielding coach, as it was the case in the past. When I played, John Wright did everything and more, but now you have to be the man who's brilliant with tactics and who can keep the team together.
The other thing that one notices is that tenure that he's been given. It's a 1-year tenure. We heard it from the BCCI secretary a short while ago, and just to sum it up, he said that they want to reserve the right of reassessing his performance in 1 year, because at the end of the day, it's a professional assignment. I know he's a great player. His credentials as a player cannot be questioned, but because he has no prior experience, do you think this is par for the course? This is the reality of a professional world?
Yes, absolutely. I think nobody can be guaranteed a job for a particular period of time. Maybe unofficially, you might tell a player that when he's making a debut, I'm talking about a player that, look, the selection committee myself, we will look at you for about 2 or 3 games and then maybe take a call. Similarly, I think a 1-year term is more than enough, because we've got about 17 test matches, loads of one-day internationals and T20s that will come. So 1 year, I think, is a fair time for Anil to show what he is and how he is taking the team forward. So I think perfectly understandable for the BCCI to do that.
Okay, Aakash, to you, and the reason I'm asking this is because in India we love our cricketers, and most fans will, and I've been getting a lot of feedback from fans on Twitter saying that why just 1 year? He's such a great player, you've got a great coach, give him a longer rope. What did you make of it?
Well, we all know that he's been a great player. There is obviously no question, but do we actually know that he's a great coach? And that's where you can understand where BCCI is coming from. Of course, they've picked him on the basis of what he's done in the past as a player. Obviously, they've spoken to him and taken those inputs into account, but then you still want to see what he does with the team on the field. He's been a mentor of a few teams, he's been an administrator as well, but now he's donning a brand new cap, so you want to just assess and see how things go forward, because under normal circumstances, if they were going to a proven coach, you would want the coach to be there till 2019, and why not think about that 2019 World Cup and just have him for a year. But with Anil, I think that's the part of the package because there were no there's nothing to go back for or go according to like what he's done in the past as a coach. Of course, then you're slightly cagey and cautious, but then 17 test matches at home, we'll get to know what it's worth.
Okay, Sunil, as a lover of Indian cricket, would you be worried about the fact that Aakash mentions that Anil Kumble, great player, but we've seen great players not always make great coaches, no prior experience as a coach. Of course, he's been a mentor with IPL teams, but no formal coaching experience, neither a coaching degree for that matter.
I don't think you need a coaching degree. Basically, I think you need to be a good man manager. And I think Anil is capable of that. If you've led the country, then you invariably and led the country successfully as Anil has done, then, I think you know what man management is all about to a large extent. And I don't see there's going to be anything, from Anil's side that will rock the boat. I believe that the one-year term is fine. The fact that he hasn't had any coaching experience, doesn't mean anything. Because, when you go out to play, you don't have any experience. This business of asking every time for a job, experience is quite silly because, if it's somebody who's applying fresh for a job, how is he going to get experience unless actually gets a job? You can't always have experienced people because then you would have a lot more unemployed people than employed people in this world. I think what Anil's going to bring that to the table is, like I said, his determination, his depth, the intelligence, the native intelligence that he possesses as a person and as a cricketer. And I think those things are going to be very, very handy for Indian cricket. Okay,
Saima, I'm just going to read out something. This is what Anil Kumble had to say. Everyone knows, abruptly resigned from the post of the boss of NCA National Cricket Academy, and in his resignation he had said that I had a 3-year vision, a holistic approach for the NCA, and that was not in alignment with the rest of the committee. It didn't make sense to me to just be a figurehead in this kind of situation. Just to get a sense of the individual that Anil Kumble is, does this give you a sense that he will not be a figurehead as some of the recent coaches have been, maybe with India or across the globe, without taking any names? Do you think he's a no-nonsense person, will definitely not be a figurehead, be very actively involved?
He will be. But like you said just now in the interview, it's the players who are going to be important. And I think so while he'll make his point in dressing rooms and in the huddles, when the first ball is bowled, he will be in the background. He will be looking to get that perspective that a coach can give to the team away from the heat of the moment. The players involved in the battle sometimes have a completely different perspective than from somebody who's sitting in the dressing room. From the dressing room, you are able to see a lot more perhaps than sometimes when the captain is. And that's where the coach will come in handy. I think where a coach also needs to be, apart from being a man manager, as far as the Indian cricket team is concerned, is to be able to give tactical advice to the captain. And I can tell you that, one or two that I've seen gave absolutely zero advice to the captain. And they were actually quite happy to do what the captain told them. I don't think Anil is going to be like that. While he will certainly want to give his views, he will not be completely subservient to the skipper, and I think that's an important aspect.
Okay, the same question taking from Sanibhai's point, because it's a very valid point. We see this sort of friction sometimes between the captain and the coach, or sometimes we have a coach who's very laid back, just lets the captain run the show. Do you think Anil, having been a captain of the Indian team for 14 test matches, understands that balance, like where does he need to interfere and where not?
I am assuming that he would, of course, because he's not just been the captain for 14 matches, but he's played so much cricket under different captains.
He was the bowling captain.
He was
his entire career.
De facto the bowling captain till Zahir Khan arrived and took care of the newer crop. But then with Anil, you would expect him to actually speak his mind. and with someone like Virat Kohli at the helm of the affairs, you want someone who can actually give him a lot of advice or sound advice. You don't have to be at loggerheads with the captain. You can, but you can always have contrary views, and I think contrary views will eventually bring out the best solution. So that's what I would expect from Anil, that just show the other side of the coin to the captain all the time, and also speak the language that every player understands, and that doesn't obviously mean the language Hindi or English. Okay. It's about what works, what gets them tick. Some guys need an arm around their shoulder, and some need their screws to be tightened up a little. So those kind of minor dynamics, they play a huge role in the role of a coach and the building of the team. So that's what you would expect from Anil.
Okay, final question. We're completely running out of time. I'll go across to Sunil. Sunil, one thing that everyone remembers about Anil Kumble, the player, is how gritty he was, what a fighter he was. You know, that first image that comes to your mind is, you know, having bandage across his face with a broken jaw, bowling in the West Indies. How much, since you said that a coach needs to be a man manager, how much of this is he going to pass on to the team, and how much will it benefit the team, being gritty, being a fighter to the core?
Well, I think there is a living example in front of the youngsters as to what the man has done. And I think that's probably the greatest thing that will be there. They will, look, the players today, they might not really be knowing the history, say, from maybe 20 years back. But they certainly know what Anil Kumble has been, because they'll Google Anil Kumble. Some of them will Google Anil Kumble and see what he's achieved, and there'll be respect. It's most important for the coach to have respect. And I think that he's going to get plenty in the dressing room, starting from the captain. Because when there is a coach who probably hasn't achieved as much as some of the players in the team, he tends to sort of lose a little bit of authority. That is not going to happen in Anil Kumble's case. Anil Kumble, with his performances, he's been outstanding performer for India. He's won heaps of matches for India, and I think he's going to bring that winning mantra in the Indian team. The Indian team has, in the last series against South Africa, we saw the winning mantra already there.
Right.
And I think it's just going to develop. And I'm very confident that lots of achhe din ahead for Indian cricket.